My name is Michelle Croswick, and I'm the director of the New Lenox Public Library District. There will be a ballot question on March 17, 2020 that will ask voters how they want to maintain their library, its services, and operating hours. It will ask voters if they want to redirect the money from the expiring construction bond tax rate to the library's operating tax rate. The operating tax rate is used to provide programs, events, services, technology, and maintain our building. If voters approve this ballot measure, these funds would be used to provide additional programming, increase hours over time, and maintain our aging building. The New Lenox Public Library District has never had a voter-approved operating tax increase since 1946. The current library is operating on a budget intended for the previous building on Cedar Road. This building is smaller. As a result, our library is operating on a budget for a building that is 19% of its size. Did you know that the library receives an average of 2.5% of the total property tax income? If you compared that to a dollar bill, the library would receive 2.5 cents of every tax dollar. In fact, 94.3% of all the library's funding comes from property taxes, which go towards our operating funds and paying off the library bonds. Since our construction bonds will be paid in full as of December 2019, a yes vote in March 2020 would mean that the tax rate would remain the same. The library is only asking for an increase in the operating tax rate that is equal to the expiring construction bond tax rate. A yes vote would mean the same tax rate that taxpayers have already been paying all along. That being said, the ballot question can be confusing. The wording for the ballot question is set by Illinois state statute. The ballot question will not speak to the issues of an aging library building, the need for ongoing library maintenance, and the community's request for increased hours and services. The ballot question states, shall the limiting rate under the Property Tax Extension Limitation Law for the New Lenox Public Library District, Will County, Illinois, be increased by an additional amount equal to 0.0721% above the limiting rate for the purpose of general library purposes for levy year 2018 to be equal to 0.2239% of the equalized assessed value of the taxable property therein for levy year 2020. The 0.0721% increase the library is asking for is the exact tax rate from the expiring construction bond tax rate. It is an equal exchange. As you can see, the question will be in the form of a proposition to increase extension limitation, or the library's operating tax rate, by $24.03 for every $100,000 of fair market home value. What the ballot does not tell you is that the building bond will be paid in full as of December 2019, which is the library's one and only outstanding debt. So the taxes you are currently paying will go down approximately $24.03 for every $100,000 of fair market home value. If you do decide to vote yes, your tax rate for the library will remain the same because the construction tax bond rate you are now paying will be redirected to the operating tax rate to pay for library building improvement, increased hours, and improved services. If you vote no, your taxes will go down by the cost of a hardback book. A financial review and building assessment conducted by professional third-party consultants shows that $5.4 million is needed for library maintenance over the next 10 years. Without funds from the redirection, money to fix and maintain the library building will come from cuts to programs, services, and hours over time. The new Lenox Public Library District Board of Trustees has looked to 2020, after the bonds will be paid off, as an opportunity to ask voters if they would be willing to redirect the money from the expiring construction bond tax rate to the operating tax rate to pay for needed library maintenance and sustain library services. The goal is to provide a tax-neutral way to support needed library improvements now and in the future. The tax rate to the homeowner remains the same with a yes vote. This past summer, the library had to close its second floor for 2 days due to temperatures reaching 94 degrees. This is an example of needed building maintenance. The air conditioning system needs to be updated and repaired to keep it functional. Heaters, air conditioning, carpet, parking lots, and technology all have a lifespan. The library building is approaching its 20th birthday, which means that the lifespan of equipment and installations have been reached and need to start being replaced. Without an increase to the operating tax rate to fund the necessary improvements, library users will not receive the same programs, services, technology, and hours over time. 99% of those surveyed in 2017 said the library was essential to the community. Respondents said that they would like to see increased hours, expanded programs for children and seniors, as well as access to advanced technology, such as our digital media lab. We cannot provide those requests without an increase to the operating tax rate. A no vote will put us below the per capita funding rate of our neighboring libraries. With a yes vote, we can achieve comparable funding. On March 17, 2020, each voter will have an opportunity to decide how they wish to address the challenge of an aging library building, a growing community, and how the library satisfies these needs. I encourage you to study the question and vote. It is your library and your future, and you get to decide. If you would like more information, please visit our website at newlenoxlibrary.org/vote. This presentation is meant to provide residents with information so they can better understand the challenge of an aging library and the proposition to increase the extension limitation that will be on the March 17, 2020 ballot. Thank you very much.